Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Zero Hour, in which we talk about and discuss certain things that are going on in the world or in the United States. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the fact that while everybody else's attention was so focused on everything else, Congress holds its first UFO hearings in half a century. And were they up to snuff, or was it just more kind of lip service? So that's what we're going to discuss. This episode is episode 1. I'm going to try and do one at least once a month, unless something comes up that we can put on there. I am just a normie, as you know, and stuff. I'm trying a little different things right now and all that. So we are going to discuss the military's UFO database now has info from over 400 reported incidences, and on May 17th, a joint hearing that hasn't been done in almost a half a century to discuss the phenomenon as known as UFOs. A database of reports of UFOs now include about 400 incidents, up from 143, which I kind of find a little hard to believe, to be honest, and stuff, The report came out and was released about a year ago by Naval Intelligence and stuff, and they gave testimony to congressional hearings on Tuesday. So the military's 2021 report said no evidence of aliens have been found, blah, 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 blah. Okay? A lot of this hearing was just basically going over some of the TikTok videos and some of the other stuff that we have recently seen released by the U.S. Navy and stuff like that, which seems to be a mixed opinion on the release of those and why now and all that. To me, it seems like a real like a distraction and stuff like that. For the last couple of years, we have been in a sort of a propaganda phase. Our economy is kind of in the toilet. Job market is kind of all over the place. People's income is just in the toilet. Inflation is out of control. Gas prices are up, and stuff. And now they want to release this under the darkness of basically, it might be in the open, but you notice that there's so much other stuff going on and you miss this. There seems to be a lot of people that really miss this. You know what I'm saying? But the report went over the fact that some pilots are finally coming forward about their own experiences and stuff, commercial, military, private, and stuff like that. If you're not all aware, too, as well, there was an agency or like an operation back in the 50s and 60s called Operation Blue Book and stuff like that. It was kind of like a report of a lot of different things that were going on in regards to aerial phenomenon at that time. And now, I can't remember what the name of that was, but the billionaire, I can't remember his name. I think it's Robert Bigelow. Stuff, Bigelow Aerospace and stuff. He's got, I think the company is now defunct and stuff like that. But he was creating these inflatable habitats and stuff like that. Matter of fact, there is one on the space station called Beam and stuff like that. And I don't know what happened, but I think ULA bought up the patents and all that stuff. But he kind of folded during COVID, so not entirely sure. But the way I'm going is that he bought Skinwalker Ranch, which includes something to do with the research and all that of weird things that go on in the world. You know what I'm saying? But what is really behind this alleged transparency that has been so secretive for so long? It seems like, this session is never happened in 50 years, a half a century. But why now? Why now? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's in the open. They're having these hearings, but there's a lot of other things going on. And I'm sure that the UFO community and those that follow this stuff are on top of it. But where does that really lie? You know what I'm saying? Because, I think a lot of us deep down, myself included, I think we all believe in UFOs. We just don't exactly know what they are. We all seem to have a pretty good idea or a thought or an idea of what they might be and stuff like that. There seems to be a common theme as well, too, that UFOs are actually us from the future because maybe something happened in the future that changed us or our genetic makeup and maybe something is getting destroyed or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's an interesting theory nonetheless, though. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, what is interesting, too, is about that is that, all these aliens are like grays and blues and stuff like that. They have huge ungulated eyes and heads and stuff like that. Well, we know that when our astronauts are in orbit, that their body changes. So what happens if we don't live on not Mars, but on Earth, but we're living in space? What does that do to our bodies? You know what I'm saying? And stuff. Who knows? We might be an ancestor to those aliens or something like that. I don't know. It's a thought. It's not concrete evidence or anything like that. I just thought it was pretty interesting. We do know that, I think that we should all be mindful of obligation to the protection of what's going on our planet to what's going on in space. I know that, I work in the defense industry and stuff. I work for the Department of Defense and stuff as a contractor. And, excuse me, I know that there are certain things that have to be secretive. But I don't really see that I don't see this as a threat as much as, I think a lot of people would like answers. What bothers me the most is the fact that they're having all of this kind of under this guise of we've got the Ukrainian war going on, which overshadows pretty much everything. We have inflation going on, high gas prices, high grocery bills, you name it. And then they hold this, and all that, while everybody else is distracted on all these other things. And so that's why I wanted to do a kind of a video on this and stuff like that too. And I'm trying something different and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that this whole situation and those that were in the hearings and stuff, they're just bureaucrats. They don't have any real insight and stuff like that. I personally, working in the government and stuff like that, these guys are just bureaucratic people that just have no real, enthusiasm or anything like that. They're just basically politicians at that point, and all that. But, it's an interesting situation nonetheless. It would be nice to know what exactly these are. One thing that did come out of this is that I guess the U.S. government and the military and the DoD are really going to act as if this is a national threat. But even though it's really a planetary threat. But again, why now? Why all of a sudden? Is there something else going on and all that? I don't know. And stuff, And also, too, we're coming up to, I'm gonna end this now, but I'm coming up on 10 minutes. I want to keep it there, but I wanted to ask you all if you've ever had not a close encounter or anything like that. Well, maybe you have, but have seen something that you can't explain. I have, and stuff like that. When I was back in the 90s, when I was in high school, I was a senior in high school. I ditched school so that I could go surfing one morning, And it was like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I was at Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach is next to Seal Beach, which is next to a naval base and stuff like that. I saw something in the sky that went straight up and stuff like that that couldn't explain. I don't think we have anything in our arsenal that could do that. And it went straight up. There were no wings or anything like that. It looked like a ball from what I could see and all that. But I watched it for a good maybe, I don't know, probably a minute to maybe a little longer. It seemed like it was a long time, but it probably wasn't, you know. But let me know what you think down below about this. Do you want me to continue this? Do you have a story? Please tell me down below. What do you think about these hearings? Were they to overshadow, letting nobody really know what's going on and all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? But we're coming up on 11 minutes. Let me know what you think of this episode, this first episode of this episode of Zero Hour. I had a brain fart there. Please excuse me. But take care, everybody. Peace out. If you need to talk to me or something like that, hit the About section in the channel. And we will be talking to you all later. Peace out, everybody. Bye.